In one of the division games this last Sunday, the Seattle Seahawks made their way to Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Tossie, you were there. And man, you know, it boggles my mind that the Niners did it again. A division loss at home. But you know what? Something was amiss with this game, man. Something was
Yeah,
amiss. You were there.
yeah,
Tell me about it. Vent. It is your
yeah.
time to
So
shine.
we're there. Niners about to punt. Seattle calls a timeout. Okay. So then they go out there. They're about to punt again. After the timeout, suddenly there's another stoppage. Who called the timeout? Wasn't the Niners. It was Seattle. They called two in a row. That's supposed to be a 5 yard penalty. It was 4th and 6. They didn't call it. That would have put them at 4th and 1 with a chance to get the first down, basically ice the game, or they could have kicked a game winning or a game like go up 7 field goal. It
Yep.
was probably like it would have been a 52 yarder. Instead, you get the ball back to Geno Smith. He comes down and he does the night
Yes,
and
that dream. Yep.
wins the game. So honestly, this is unacceptable. You cannot be a referee in an NFL game. The coach on the sideline knew that they made the mistake. He threw off his headset. He knew they made that mistake, and he knew it was a penalty. But you know what? The refs didn't call it. They just gave him a pass, and that's unacceptable. You can't, there's way too much writing on these games, especially the division
100%.
game, to miss a penalty of that significance at that moment in the game. So I'm like on here harping about the refs every week, but you know what? This is crap. This is not how you're supposed to be officiating games, and you
Yep.
should be costing teams games by not calling the right calls. And then another thing that happened, which was before that or after that, actually on the drive, dude's foot was out of bounds when he caught the ball. They
Yeah.
reviewed it. They didn't call it. Like what are they looking at? Everybody in the stadium could see it. Like you showed on the big board. Like what's going on? Why are they want Seattle to win this game? Like what's going on here? Like to me, I'm just flabbergasted. I think it's the most annoying, frustrating thing to watch that you're going to let these officials continue to ruin the game and continue to make bad calls. So, Niners, they should have won the game. They blew it. They obviously didn't play well. They should have beat Seattle. Seattle's terrible. They stink. They're probably going to lose to Arizona this week. But, honestly, the refs missed call was just crap.
It boggles my mind that like we are in week what 10 now or week 11.
Yeah,
I can't even
11.
remember what
Week
we're in week
11.
11 and we're still having these conversations, right? We've
Yeah.
we've been talking for weeks on this podcast about the idea of like, hey man, like why don't you actually like use, instant replay as like your actual thing of officiating these games? Like human error aside, like let's take human error out of the equation. It's not 1985, it's not 1994. It's not even 2004. It's 2024.
Hey, you
Like
tell me you
we
don't know
have the
the freaking rule
technology,
book?
we have
It's
the
ridiculous.
technology, and we have like the rules analyst that's like for each network that like is like the person who like knows the rules inside and out. Like, why can't they just be the ones to like call to the rest, be like, hey, by the way, like this is what you're supposed to do?
Yeah,
And it boggles my mind that like we're still having these issues.
they are not. They don't want it. They're not transparent. The NFL wants ways. There's clearly something amiss because there's. It seems like they want ways to be able to control the game without everybody being able to see that. And
Mhm.
so that's the way they do it. They don't call a penalty. They do call a penalty. They call a penalty that may be kind of like, okay, is that really a penalty? They make a call that's kind of borderline, like, hey, like that. Everybody can see it one way, but oh yeah, we can say it. We can see it another way. So honestly, like to me, it's just all about controlling the outcomes of the games at this point. Like that's really the bottom line.
It's sad, especially in a
Yeah,
division game, especially in a division game
exactly.
that has so much writing on it. Where a division that's so tight. I mean, look, it sucks that the Niners lost, but at the same time, they're still not like out of it by any means.
Yeah.
They're still a game and a half away from being at the top of the division. So there's still a lot of football to be played. A lot of things can happen, but in a big crucial division game like that, just stay out of it, man. Like call the stuff that you're supposed to call, like a second timeout, like
Yeah.
call
It's
that
like
stuff. But
everybody knew
then,
it.
yeah, but
Everybody knew it.
like,
The head coach is throwing his headset off. They knew they made the
yeah,
mistake, and then they didn't penalize him for it. Are you kidding me?
it's
It's
unbelievable,
ridiculous.
unbelievable.